Hi, how are you guys doing today? All right. Let's see. What came through today is again working on your throat chakra and the solar plexus. Those seem to be recurring because I think we just had it the other day. So if you need help speaking, call on Archangel Gabriel. He will help you with self-expression and standing in your truth. My voice is already going every time. So please, like, if you're having issues with that, call on him and he'll help you. And Archangel Chamuel is here again, and that's he helps with the work with the solar plexus, which is your life force energy and emotional desires. So if you've been having a hard time with these things or just, having issues, call on him. So those are the two archangels for today. Now, let's see. We're going to start this with understanding that life isn't a destination, it's a journey. Because once you get to the destination, then what? What happens? What are you going to do once you arrive there? Nothing. Just be. So you have to learn to love and appreciate and live in the moments that we have now. Okay? So you have to take this time and just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Okay? Now these cards. Alright. This situation that you guys have going on or that has been going on or however you guys have it, you have to remember to seek silence and go within, okay, so that you can find truth. And the only way you're going to find truth is by truly opening your eyes and seeing shit for what it is, not for what we want it to be, okay? And if you've been having you have this need to be constantly right in whatever is happening, you can't. It's not that you can't. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's not beneficial to constantly want to be right, to be like, oh, well, because you're going to cause discord. You're going to be fighting. You're going to be having all these things happening because you want to be right. And it's not necessary because that's not going to help you resolve the conflict. So you have to learn how to let go of having to be right all the time, because it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about how to handle the situation most appropriately, like in the best manner, so that it works out for everyone involved without harming or hurting someone else. Okay? And when you're constantly in your I'm right, I don't need to apologize, I shouldn't apologize, or however it's working out for you, you're shutting yourself off from finding resolutions or from coming to agreement, finding peace. You have to be okay and allow things just to be. Let it go, let it rock. Sometimes everything isn't about being right. It's more about if I value this relationship more than I value my pride and my ego. And you should value your relationships more than your pride and your ego, because your pride and your ego are things that cause you to have issues and problems and things that's just not necessary for your life. So step outside of that, okay? And if you have that tendency, try to see why you feel that you need to always be right. Even if you're, however this is playing out, but if you are in the right, what's so wrong about saying, okay, yes, I know I'm in the right, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to make peace. I'm going to do whatever it is, because in the long run, it's the relationship that matters, not the in-between shit, because years from now, you won't remember this shit. You'll be like, oh, what were we fighting about? Like, it's stupid, so don't hold on to it, okay? Now, there is this, you're keeping yourself bound, okay? And it's like you're holding on to your boundaries, your walls, not your boundaries. Your boundaries are good, but your walls, the things that you built to protect yourself from all of this outside shit and from allowing people to come in and help you and speak to you, okay? Now, with this, there's there's a transition, there's something that needs to take place, and you're stuck, you're in your head about it, you're not sure which way to go. And that's fine. It takes time for us to figure shit out and understand where we're going or what we're doing or why we're doing it. But look at it as this is a movement. It can be a physical movement, it can be internal. It could just be, I have this going on, I need to deal with this, or whatever. There are transitions, there's things that need to happen. So as this is happening, understand that you have to release who you were. Okay, you have to release who you were to become who you want to be. You can't hold on to that person and expect to change or transform into someone better, because you're still holding on to those tendencies. And I feel like that's a lot of it's an issue when we're growing and we're changing, because it's like, damn, I'm comfortable here, this is what I know, and it's easy to revert back to that, especially in times of stress or triggers. Whatever triggers us, we revert back to what we know. And when you're trying to build something new, it takes more from you, because it's like, okay, let's say like class, like you mastered addition and subtraction, that was easy, so no problem. Now we'll fast forward where we're fucking doing statistics. It's not as easy as addition and subtraction, so it's like, I'd rather do that because I'm comfortable with it and I'm familiar with it, as opposed to statistics where you have to put more energy and more effort into learning the material and understanding how to apply it. It's the same thing when you're growing and you're changing, because it's like, oh, I know this, I'm not so familiar with this, so you have to educate yourself on how to be better, on how to make better choices, and stay with that and not fall back. It's always good to have your past, because sometimes you might need to smack a bitch, but try to be the better person. Try to stay in that moment all the time, okay? Because that's what's going to be beneficial to you. You have to create a smooth transition. Now, it doesn't require planning or anything. It's something that is just going to happen, but you have to accept it and embrace it. Like, okay, this is who I am now. And if it is a change, physical change, then be okay with the physical change. I just feel like it's more internal work that's happening right now. So please be okay with that, okay? Accept and embrace it, and understand that this is a gift, okay? As you go through life, choose my words. As you go through life, I like to say we mature, but not everyone matures. So I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. But as you mature, as you're meant to, understand that there is a gift in that. Because if you live your life with all the shit you had from when, let's say, 15, 16 years old, and that's your mindset, and that's your go-to, and that's your reaction to everything, you haven't matured. I mean, your physical body has been alive for like 30, 40 years, but you're mentally and spiritually age 15, 16, and it's fucked up, because you haven't allowed your mind to expand. You haven't allowed your spirit to expand and see new things and learn new ways to deal with things, come from different perceptions, okay? So as you're all in your head and you're wrapped up with all these things, understand that when you reach a level of maturity, that you reach the point where it's like, okay, this situation I can no longer grow from, I can no longer learn from. It is time for me to move forward. Allow that. Take the steps, okay? Because it's the same thing like a flower blooming, If it stays closed off, it's not going to turn into this big, beautiful thing that we all admire and see beauty in. It's going to stay closed, and we're going to be like, why did that stay closed? Why is it not blossoming like the other ones? So just kind of look at your life as everything that you experience is an opportunity to mature. It's an opportunity to grow into the person you're meant to be, okay? So if you're being faced with a difficult situation right now, and a lot of this is like major transitions and transformation that's occurring, understand that it's going to take courage. And it's not just going to happen the way we want it to happen just because we want it to happen that way, okay? you have to separate yourself from being resentful. I was looking for another word, but being resentful is going to make things harder. You know, you can choose to stay in a resentful state of mind and not make progress, or you can choose to rise up to the occasion and accept the challenges and be like, okay, how can I overcome this? What's the next move? What are we going for? You know, so you can choose which way you want to be on, whatever end of the spectrum you want to be on. Okay, so understand that you can't avoid or deny the challenges that are presenting themselves to you, and if you try, they're just going to keep reoccurring. So just kind of attack it head on to just eliminate the bullshit, because I'm sure you're tired. I'm sure you're tired of this shit, because I'd fucking be tired of this shit. So rise to the occasion. You know, be like a little flower, like a seed. You plant the seed, and it has to go through all these challenges just to come from the ground, you know, because there's gravel, rocks, concrete, whatever. You don't know what obstacles this little seed had, but the little seed just knows that it needs to grow. It needs to find light, it needs to find food, and that's it. That's the drive it has. So it goes through all of these challenges, and then it looks like this beautiful thing. And that's what happens to us throughout life. Like, we go through all of these things, and it's to show us to more compassion, be more generous, more understanding, so that we can blossom and be these people, these healers that the world needs right now. And that's what's happening, okay? So, now, this is just a question. If you have the situation that you've been dealing with, now, what you see in others, does it really belong to you? You know, because I know a lot of us project shit onto other people and situations, but what you see in others, like, does it belong to you? And is your vision clear or clouded by what you want to see? Because let's say you met someone and you enjoy spending time with this person and hanging out or whatever, but maybe you're seeing more than there really is there. And that's okay, because if you're spiritual, we tend to see shit that people can't even grasp. So don't take it the wrong way. But as far as a projection, see what you're projecting onto other people. See what really belongs to you and what doesn't. See what's really in front of you. Like, really just see shit for black and white. Okay? Because when you're empathic and you have all these gifts, it's easy to kind of look past that, because we can see the soul. We can see and feel things that other people can't, and that kind of clouds us and fucks us up. So really make sure that you're seeing shit for what it is, okay? And if you are projecting, find out what you're projecting and why you're projecting it, okay? But I do see that once you rise to this occasion and you get all of this sorted out, your wishes are going to be fulfilled. So whatever it is that you've been working on and you've been like putting your energy into, so all of that is going to come. So just it seems like there's a lot of inner work that needs to happen for you to get to your wish fulfillment. Now, for my people pleasers, listen, man, I understand how it is to sit there and constantly feel the need to please someone else or do what other people want, or just fucking not rock the boat. But understand that you're wearing a mask. So when you're people pleasing, that's not you. That's not who you truly are. You're wearing this mask. And you're like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do whatever the fuck it is that you want me to do. But you're exhausting yourself. You're getting yourself to this fucking point that you're so focused on keeping everything together and keeping everything running smoothly that you don't even realize that you're being a hypocrite to yourself. So you're not getting the rest that you need if you're constantly trying to please everyone else and meeting everyone else's needs, but you're not meeting your own. Okay? Life isn't a business. It's not meant to be managed. Your life is meant to be lived. It's something that's mystical, that's magical, that you're supposed to experience. And you're not going to experience it because you're too tired. You're fucking busy pleasing everybody else and what everybody else needs and what everybody else wants, and you can't do that. Okay? Because you're living this double life that's not even truly you. So you need to be authentically you and be true to you and set boundaries, set limits. It's okay to do those things. Don't be afraid of putting boundaries up, okay? This is fun. For those of us that have anxiety issues, or you're worried about something that's coming up or something that just passed, because like I said, this is transition. That's one of the theme of this is really just the transitions. Understand that Jesus, there is, like I said, there's no right or wrong time. This is right now the right time for whatever it is you have going on, and you have to understand that living conscious, like in this 3D realm, hardens us because we go through all these trials, all these tribulations, all this fucked up shit that makes us colder to people because it's hurt us. We shut down, we close off, and we push people away. So if we're living in a conscious state, like we're living in this moment, we're going to be harder. But if you live in consciousness, it allows you to remain soft. So everything that you have gone through, you've learned and accepted as a lesson. And you're able to go through it and help others go through it or avoid it, or however it resonates for you. You're able to do this. So understand that the people that are more in the conscious actions, they're doing it more of it's like mechanical, almost robotic. Like there were triggers and responses. They trigger, response. When you're coming from a place of consciousness, it's more of it's spontaneous. You're just like, okay, it happens, and then you act according to how you feel. You don't sit there and calculate everything of which way. I mean, if you do, that's bad, because that's the overthinking and the anxiety that comes in. But understand, it's not necessary, okay? Whatever happened or is coming to happen, it's going to be a blessing, so don't be afraid of it. Allow it to pass, okay? Now, there's the blessings that are coming in. Whatever this is, it's going to be something big. So whatever it is that you're asking for, go big or go home. Just go big or go home. Fuck it. You have unlimited resources that are available to you. Okay, they're there. The spirits waiting for you to take these things. And expansion. So if you've been worried about if you were going to expand, if you're going to move on, or whatever you have going on, there is expansion. You are going to move out of this situation into something better that is going to be more harmonious for you, and it's going to open you up to a whole new experience, a whole new I sound like fucking Aladdin, a whole new world, but that's what it is. Good morning, Danny. How you doing today? So yes, allow yourself to be softer and more receptive to what's happening. Okay, don't be so stuck in the in your head, okay? Because when that happens, you're not making progress, okay? Your joy is, what's coming is inexpressible. Like, I don't have the words to tell you how much good shit's coming into your life. Like, I just don't have those words, but understand that it's coming, and I just feel like there's a lot of inner work that needs to happen and a lot of changes that need to occur before you reach the end game, like your final everything, okay? Because sometimes when you have to lose everything, sometimes you just have to lose every fucking thing and start over. And it scares people. It scares a lot of people because it's a risk nobody wants to take. Because you're like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up homeless on the fucking street, jobless, like all fucked up. And that's worst case scenario. It could be better. But understand that it's coming, okay? And you have to be willing to move from your heart, regardless of the risk, regardless of what you're gonna lose, regardless of every motherfucking thing. You have to move from your heart. You have to allow that to dictate what's going to happen, okay? Because you have to find who you are. You have to find who you are. And I'm sorry to say that it happens when we hit rock bottom. Like, it's just the way it fucking plays out, because we're so stubborn and we're so set in our ways and how we want things that sometimes we have to hit rock bottom in order for us to allow spirit to come in and guide us into what it is that we need. But once excuse me, Jesus. So that's this one here. Now the complete healing. Like I said, this is a lot of inner stuff. You have to allow yourself to completely heal. And the only way to do that is to just drop all of these layers, all of the walls, all of everything that you have. You have to drop all of these things and be okay with, I can't talk, this shit. Please work on your throat chakras. Please, please, please. So, in this, real love comes from developing your own richness, your own maturity, your own, whatever you have inside you, you have to develop that, okay, for you to find that type of love. And understand that the reason we search for love, good morning, Jennifer, how you doing? The reason we search for love, or I don't even want to say falling in love, but it can be falling in love with money, falling in love with people, falling in love with sex, falling in love with whatever the fuck it is. It's because we don't want to be alone. We fall in love with people is because it's like, oh, well, they'll help me. This is someone to occupy my time. This takes away from whatever I have going on inside of me. This makes me feel better temporarily. And that's all fine and dandy, as long as you're working on you and you're fixing what you need to fix. You don't want to be in a relationship to distract you from the shit you need to do or the shit you have going on. You want a relationship to add to your happiness. So if let's say you're a person that's just overworked because you love fucking money, that's fine, but you're occupying your mind so much that you're not focusing on the things you need to heal. You're not focusing on the things that you need to really work on because you're so occupied with money. You really have to put yourself look at things from a different perspective and see how you can advance your life, advance your spiritual growth, and do it so that it benefits humanity. Not just benefits you, but humanity. Because when you act in a manner that's going to benefit everyone, like the greater good, everything falls into place easily. But when you're coming from a place of, I'm doing this for money, I'm doing this for my selfish reasons, look at your life and see how far it has gotten you. Like, see what you've really accomplished and what you really have. Because it's like, yeah, you might have all the material things you want, or maybe you don't have any of the shit you want and you're just constantly striving and striving and striving. But you have to understand that the divine has a plan for your life. And you can fight it. All you fucking want to, you can fight it. But you have to look at it as, why do I keep struggling? You know, I bust my ass. I do what I'm supposed to do. You know, I work. I do everything. But I'm not making progress. I'm not breaking through this barrier right here. And that's because spirit is like, there's things that you need to work on. You need to evaluate yourself, your values, your morals. You need to evaluate those things because Spirit's not going to let you do whatever the fuck you want and think that you're going to just live this wonderful, great life. No, if you came here for a spiritual reason, like, and you have a spiritual purpose, Spirit's going to make sure you get there. Whether you like it, you don't like it, however the fuck, you're going to get there. And if it takes you 20 years of you just kind of barely fucking making it and you like living this, living paycheck to paycheck, you know, at some point you have to get tired. At some point you have to be like, there's more to this. But you have to go within and realize these things before it happens, okay? And I think that's the biggest thing right now is you have to really be okay with being alone. You know, because when you're alone, you learn who you are. You learn what you want. You learn everything. But if you're not alone, you're allowing yourself to be distracted by all of these people, all of these things, everything that's going on. Don't be consumed in all of that. Be consumed in yourself, okay? And I know I sound crazy sometimes, especially if you have kids. It's different because obviously you have to pay attention to them and focus on them. But your children are basically little replicas of you. They take your energy. They take that from you. So if you want your children to have better values, better morals, to do better than you, then you have to learn to do better. And you have to show them better. Not talk to them. Because, listen, I've talked to my kids' fucking head off. And we're not going to go in there. But you have to show them. You know, when you show someone, it's different because they're like, okay, they act in this manner. This is how someone should portray themselves. This is how someone should carry themselves. You know, because they do what they see. So this is a time right now for deep reflection. Like, go really deep within yourself and see what it is that you're trying to do and what's going on, because you have to release this. You have to let this go and understand that something is completing or has already completed. And if that's if that's something that's already going on in your life, that's great, you know, because you're allowing it and you're embracing it to happen. So if you're sad about this transition, it's okay to be sad. You know, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel your feelings, but don't allow the sadness to consume you. Let it go, okay? Like, feel it, be with it, and just be like, okay, I release it. The same way a storm comes, you prepare for it, you deal with it, and when it passes, you pick up the fucking pieces. That's it. Don't hold on to it. You can't, you know, if the storm comes and goes, you sit there and you're gonna hold on to all the fucking damage that storm did? No, you're gonna start fixing that shit like, all right, well, this fucked up everything. Let me put it back together. So it's the same thing. Feelings, they're meant to come and go. Like, you're just supposed to feel them and allow them to pass. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. Everyone gets stuck with the sadness, because then the sadness turns into anger and resentment and all these harsh things that are not beneficial to anyone. So you have to find a way to release this, okay? So, like I said, there's something greater awaiting you, but you have to get through all of this shit first and really work on yourself. So you're pretty much I'm sorry, but Spirit's saying that you're basically like, you're past the point of no return. Like, you've been working or allowing things to happen or whatever has been building up, that you've basically crossed that threshold where it's like, ah, shit, I can't go back. I can't do this anymore. Like, it's over. And now you have no choice but to move forward. And I know it's scary, but accept that adventure. Take that challenge, okay? Now, this is one of the bigger things here, which I found interesting today, is there's no superior or inferior. And humanity has created this chaos, this world that we always have to fight, or there's always some type of situation that's occurring, and it's because man wants to conquer nature. Man wants to be above everything fucking else. And it causes this discord because It's like we're supposed to be one. You know, everything is like a circle. Everyone is equal. Everyone is the same. Nothing is better. Nothing is worse. No one is better. No one is worse. So when you're in this situation and you're in this dynamic, you're sitting here and you're trying to be better than. There's no need to be better than when we're all equal. And the sooner the rest of the world can understand that there is no superior, like we're meant to be in harmony with nature, with the animals, with all of life, then things will change. But as long as we're trying to take over fucking everything and try to control animals, and we lock them up and we do all these horrible fucking things because why? In our minds we're superior. You don't know the mentality of a fucking animal. You don't know how intelligent they are. You don't know what emotions they feel. Like, it's frustrating because, you know, we have fucking a collection of zoos. We have little fucking museums. We have all these things that have all these animals, all these creatures just held captive. Like, they're there. The only thing they did was exist. And now they're there like a fucking sideshow for us to go and look at. And every time I see these, I just identify more with it as, what if someone just took me from my natural place and just stuck me somewhere because they could? I did nothing wrong. You know, you're just sticking me somewhere and letting people look at me and all. Like, I can't. And it's sad. But that's the world that we live in. And the transformation, there's things that need to occur. You know, you have to step outside yourself and understand that you're not better than anyone. And if you have this ego trip that you are better than, or that's what you're striving for, is to be better than someone, you're all fucked up. Your priorities are fucked up, because that's not what we're here for. We're here to be happy and live and love and help each other through this fucking journey and these experiences without having people check out on us. You know, because some people can't handle these pressures. They can't handle how horrible this fucking place is. And they check out. And it's sad because it's mostly kids. It's kids that are just like, okay, well, I'm going to check out now because I'm so tired. I'm tired of getting bullied. I'm tired of getting picked on. And because why? Because somebody feels like they're better than them. Somebody feels like they have that authority to make someone feel that shitty about their lives. It's not okay. You know, it's fucked up, but it's like, humanity really needs a reality check. It's not supposed to be that way. So, I'm sorry. That was a little bit off topic, but it's what is here. Appreciate what you have, okay? There's so much more to come, but you have to see the good in everything. Sometimes you only see the bad in things, and I feel like that's because of the mindset that we grow up in. If you come from a mindset of poverty and you're only used to seeing lack and death and fucking drug dealers and prostitutes, and that's what you're used to seeing, you're like, there's no fucking beauty in that. You know, there isn't. You're just like, what the fuck is happening? And that's what we grow up with, and that's kind of what we focus on. So to get out of that, you have to learn to see the beauty in things and understand why things happen and not be so judgmental about people, because a lot of the people that are breaking laws like that or doing shit like that, because they had some shit happen. They have no other way to provide for their families. And the justice system just fucking takes it and runs with it like, oh, well, prostitution, you're going to go to jail. Oh, selling drugs, you're going to go to jail. And then they say you're going to be judged by your peers. Your peers, you know, that's who your fucking jury is. And that's not true, because if we're going to be real with this, a drug dealer's peers would be fellow drug dealers. A criminal's peers would be fellow criminals, not upper middle class or upper class people that have never committed a crime, have never had to suffer for anything, or had to actually go out in the streets and figure out how the fuck they're gonna feed their families. So a lot of shit really needs to get checked, because the system is fucked up. They think people break laws because it's fun to break the fucking laws. No, I mean, it might be fun, but it's because people have families. And when you put someone in prison, you know how hard it is for that person to find a fucking job. Doesn't matter the skill, doesn't matter how much they know, they're already immediately frowned upon, and the job will go to someone that doesn't have a criminal background. And then you wonder why
they go back in the streets and why they keep doing the same shit. Because you're not giving them a chance. Society has set it up so that they continue to fail and they continue to go back into these fucking private jails, prisons, whatever the fuck. And it's a vicious fucking, it's just a fucked up system. Like, they're not trying to help you. They're not trying to get you out of there. They're there to keep you down. And it's sad because there's so many people, there's so many families that are suffering, and so many people that are in prison right now that we're only trying to feed their fucking families. But because they never lived that life, because they never experienced that lack, it's easy to judge and assume and condemn people. No, you can't live your life condemning everyone because you haven't walked in their fucking shoes. Okay, you don't know why people do the shit that they do. There's a fucking struggle. Everybody wasn't blessed with a fucking silver spoon in their fucking mouth. You know, people really have to go and hustle for the shit that they need. So understand it, because now what? They fucking legalize weed. Now weed's legalized in so many fucking places. And guess how many drug dealers went to jail for selling weed? A lot. And they were just trying to provide, but now it's legalized. But you don't see all the people that were in the streets doing it. It wasn't the Hispanics, not the black people. No, it's a lot of white people that are now running these businesses, when in reality, all the black and Spanish people that have their entrepreneur shit, you know, they're locked up for doing the same thing. Like, it's a fucked up system. It's a really fucked up system. It needs to get fixed. I'm sorry, these things... it comes as it comes, and I don't know. These messages are for whoever needs them. But understand, I'm a Libra. I'm all about justice and balance and fairness. And I see, and I've been through a lot of situations and experiences, and I know a lot of people from the poorest of poor to the richest of rich. And it's a vast thing, you know, when you see people's lives and what they come from. So please don't be judgmental. And if you are an employer and there are criminals that are looking for jobs, or convicted felons or whatever, give them a shot, you know, because all criminals aren't bad people. A lot of criminals that I personally know have the kindest hearts. They're really good people. They're very loyal, you know, and they're true to what they do. It's just that situations and circumstances cause this to happen. And I'm tired of people always fucking being, oh, they're horrible and they're this. And that's not fucking true. It's not true. There's worse people, the fucking politicians, the fucking president that we have, that are worse than the fucking people that are selling drugs. Because guess what? You don't force people to take the motherfucking drugs. They don't force them. They don't say, hey, open your fucking mouth, take this fucking... Like, you know, you don't force people to do these things, but you get charged like fucking, oh my God. A person was sentenced to prison for selling drugs for like 16 plus years for selling drugs. Now, mind you, alcohol kills people, kills a lot of fucking people, but people choose to consume it. Smoking cigarettes kills people, but people choose to consume it because it's legalized, so it's okay. It's okay that they choose to go kill themselves. But in the same breath, when you have people that are selling drugs, they're choosing to consume those drugs. So why are they getting such harsh sentences? You know, it's different if I like shot you up with fucking dope or something, then yeah, okay, maybe I deserve that sentence. But if you're choosing to do it to yourself, that is your choice. The same way if you want to drink, you want to smoke, whatever it is, it's your personal choice. So I have a lot of issues with the amount of time that they give people for selling drugs or for doing this or for doing that, because it's not something that's forced. It's something that people choose to do. And the sooner that's realized, hopefully it'll be better. But people have all these stupid ass stigmas and beliefs and personal bias, because people get so the judges and the lawyers and all of them, because if they have children or someone that suffered that, they're gonna feel some type of way, and they're gonna take it out on the drug dealers, you know, if they had someone overdose or if someone did this. And it's not fair, because when we have people that die from alcoholism, or we're trying to stick them in rehab and we can't, we can't go sue people. We can't go put people in fucking jail. So how is this right? How is it fair in any fucking way? I'm so sorry. But sometimes shit just comes out. And, you know, Jennifer, it's real shit. It's real shit. And nobody talks about it. Nobody wants to acknowledge it. And everybody wants to keep it the way it is. Fuck it. Like, it is what it is. It is. I don't care. I'm not a saint. I haven't lived my life like a fucking saint. And a lot of the people I know, I speak because these people that I know just go through shit. And it's just like, I'm sorry, you know, you make it too hard for people to fucking live. You make it too hard for people to sit here and live this life according to the law. And it's just, fuck that. Fuck it. Anyways, back to wherever this was going. So I'm sorry for whoever needed that, because spirit just be coming and I don't know. But somebody needed to hear this. So understand that in your transformation and your letting go and in allowing all of this to happen, there is totality. Now, when I say be fully present in the moment, I want you to look at it as, think about acrobats when they're going through the air. Do you think they have time to be distracted or for their mind to be somewhere else besides that moment? Because their life literally will be at risk if they are 2 seconds of over here. They can't afford that. And that's how we need to be. We need to be fully present in the moment. Because when we become so enmeshed in what we're doing, we're not focusing on anything else, and our mind is quiet. So if you're doing stuff, pay attention. Like, start to acknowledge how focused you are in something and how silent your mind becomes. Because it's when we're not fully focused or we're distracted. Like, I have anxiety, probably ADD too, and I kind of like, I bounce around. Like, my mind goes all over the place, and I do all these things at the same time because I can't just do one thing at one time. So you have to appreciate the moments when you are fully encompassed in something and learn, because then you can have more moments like that. And the more you're able to do it, the more you're able to re-experience that. You'll be fully present all the time. But it's learning to do it and coping with it and keep doing it, okay? So, if you're thinking about all of the bad stuff, like me, like I said, I have anxiety. If you're someone that is constantly like calculating and thinking, and you're worried and you're trying to figure shit out, and you're here, you're there, you're not letting your mind find peace. You're not allowing yourself to be quiet. And it's really important, because once you're able to control the mind, you're going to have victory. In everything, on all levels, you're going to find victory, okay? So I really feel like this reading is more about self-mastery and learning yourself and allowing yourself to be, okay? So really, like, stand in your truth and be okay with whatever is coming and what's happening. And don't gravitate towards situations or people because you're afraid or because you feel lonely. Sit with that loneliness. Find out why you feel lonely. And heal yourself, love yourself, because at that point you become a whole. You're a whole person. Anything else, anyone else is only going to add to that. So allow, that's really just allow and go within and enjoy the journey, okay? Because we're not meant to work 40 hours a fucking week every day of our lives. This is fucking slavery. Don't do it, you know, do your own shit, start your own business, follow your fucking dreams, do what you want to do, because as long as you're living for somebody else, your life's gonna pass you by, and then you're gonna look back on your life and be like, what the fuck happened? Where did it go? Why didn't I do the things I really wanted to do? Why didn't I take those risks? You only get one life. Make it the best fucking life you're gonna have, because when you die, when you're gone, it's not that you're dying, you're just transcending. So it's like, I've learned my lessons, I've experienced everything I needed to experience, I've accomplished what I needed to accomplish, and now a new doorway is opening. So when the physical passes, it's just your physical that's here, because now your spirit has learned whatever it needed to, and now it's moving forward. So don't look at death as a bad thing, okay? It is something that is necessary for all of us, but appreciate it. Everything dies. Okay, so allow everything, be okay with this, okay? Because I promise you there's going to be many blessings, and just figure yourself out and love yourself more than you love anyone else, okay?
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you later.